On this week's breaking news, we take to the skies in a vintage Pan Am aircraft. We have a leak of a new minifigure scale Pokemon and a Jurassic Park vehicle. All that and more on this week's breaking news. The LEGO Group is well known for their plastic bricks, but if you look at their website, they've got a bunch of other things like pens and pencil cases and luggage tags. And this is where the partnership with Santoki comes into play. They get to help build some aesthetic LEGO pieces that you can use in your everyday life, such as pens and luggage tags and so much more. So go over to santoki.com to see some of these products and really build your LEGO aesthetic and integrate LEGO into your everyday life.
Lego.
Breaking news.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Brick. I'm your host Garrett, and this is the podcast where we talk about the latest LEGO news so we can get down to all the best things that you need to know about from the past week. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's podcast. Make sure to subscribe and make sure to tell your friends too. I'm trying to spread the word a little bit more. We have a wonderful, full-hearted community here, but I'm trying to do my best to spread my wings and really get to know the bigger the community, the more people will know about the podcast and learn about LEGO. So let your friends know. Now, a bit of the admin side of things, I have been working diligently on a new commission, and it's a lot of little architecture, and it's really fun. It's been a while since I did a commission like this, but I'm very excited to continue doing it. I overdo everything, so I'm just going to try to dial back on it, but it's pretty hard because I like to go all in, but that just means it's going to take away money from me more. So the expectation is still high for me, but still want to make sure it's realistic. And that's pretty much it for the admin. I will be diving into my set reviews at the end of the episode. I do this every week where I talk about my favorite sets from the week. The first one is going to be set 76333, Batman and Robin Batmobile. And that's our official LEGO set. And our rebrickable set is the Peach's Castle Architecture by MB Mox, one of my favorite builds. And I was so long waiting for this to become instructions. Now it's here, and now it's time to build it. And I also want to thank my patrons over at Patreon who've been huge supporters. You can become one as well. There's a link in the description. You get to join a fun LEGO stud community. They get the podcast early, ad-free, and then I throw in some instructions here and there, and we build a fun little community. So head over to Patreon to become a LEGO stud. All right, let's get into this week's first breaking news story. First up, Jurassic Park. Now, we've had some Icons vehicles before, but this one I think is a little bit different because, it just looks awesome to me. The Jurassic Park Jeep Wrangler. LEGO's had some partnerships with Jeep previously, and now that they're doing the Icon set of one of the most legendary vehicles, the classic Jeep, the two-door Jeep for technically a two-seat plus a back seat, I guess you could say, and it has the iconic gray with the red striping for it and red tires. It even comes with the cloth roof. Wow, that was really hard to say. The whip antenna, and it does come with an East Nublar sign. As you can see, there's a little arrow that you would be pointing to it. Well, you can't see it, but there's an arrow that points one way or the other. They had a great little commercial or trailer over at their Instagram page and on their TikTok as well. Now, it hasn't said exactly how much it's going to cost. It's 1,924 pieces. I'm expecting it to be at least $220 because they keep increasing prices. Could be $240. I don't know. But I know that this is one of my favorite Icon cars that they've come out with recently, so I would definitely be throwing my hat and my wallet in there to purchase it. We got another reveal. This one is another dinosaur fossil. It was actually leaked in the promotional video for the Jeep Wrangler of Jurassic Park. This is the Jurassic Park fossil, the Triceratops. Now, the Triceratops is a little bit smaller than the T-Rex, but it does come with a T-Rex medical guy from Jurassic Park, the little plaque talking about the details from it, and the skeleton. Now, all in all, I think the skeleton itself looks better than the T-Rex. It's got more detail and a compact size. They did a great job with the bone structure on the face with the horns and having some of the detail on the lower section, especially with the toes, I saw is pretty cool. Now, there's not a price for this either. It's 1,154 pieces, likely to be, I'd say, $140 for this. But if you're a big dinosaur fan and you like the fossils, building a large-scale museum because you can get this in the T-Rex, then this one's for you. Well, LEGO's done another stupid thing. They've continued making more specialty Crocs. There are now brick clogs that they're called, and they're a little bit less expensive than the other ones, which what were they? $150, I think these were. These ones are only $80. Oh, so nice to have these, but you can even get some giblets to put on that. Giblets? Yeah, it even has a Z on it, which is pretty funny. At $40 for all the different giblets that you can get. And they're just packs of 10 different ones. They come in black and in white. The exterior sole part looks just like brick pieces put together. They've got slope pieces and plates to put on. And then the other packs are the Sunshine Garden. At 10 pieces, you've got flowers, you have tulips, a large scale flower, sunflower, and a bumblebee. The gaming 10 pack, it comes with a little game controller, headphones, a little gamer, and some lightning bolts. And then the Master Brand 10 pack is just like 1x1 classic studs, 1x2. There's a pirate ship, there's the yellow castle, and the classic space, which this one, it's nice, but not for that price. And no more Crocs. I mean, people love Crocs. I've never got into them. I feel like the support is absolutely terrible. They say it's comfortable. I don't know. Not my thing. Definitely look like junk. But I bought stock in Crocs, and man, is it going up. There's some new Jurassic World sets coming, and Lego has posted them on their Instagram story where they had votes for different things. One was building a sanctuary or providing food, and it showed a helicopter and like smaller dinosaur set. This looks like a 4+ set. Then we have one that's kind of a trailer or a truck, and then a smaller one with a kind of cartooned dinosaur chasing a smaller vehicle. And then another one is a Spinosaurus, and the eyes are stupid because they're printed, but it's, I guess, at the scale that they had to do that. They didn't do it as a molded piece. This is a buildable one. And it looks like we have some scientists running away on a motorcycle for that. So more Jurassic Park sets likely to come out in, the summer is usually when they release these, but we might get some in the spring here and then continue because we just got the Triceratops. So looking to see more of that because they've just continued to expand those because a lot of kids and, adults, I guess, love all the dinosaurs. We already had another leak. This one's the Pokemon leak, and it's a character mold. This one is Eevee. So it looks just like it. It's even in the small dog form. So it's minifigure scaled, and it's going to be a lot of collecting. Just similar to Jurassic World with all the different ones that they make as dinosaurs. People are going to have to get these or pay the higher cost just to buy them separately than the sets themselves. So get ready for that. That's likely to come this summer as they are going to push out. Instead of the 18+ sets, these are going to be more catered to a younger crowd. Lego seems to be teasing a lot of their sets. I don't know if it's intentional or unintentional. They have their Lego magazine that came out, and it shows in one of the front pamphlets of it that there is some cars racing around, but then also in the background, it's Godzilla. We've got Godzilla kind of hanging out over top of the buildings. Now, does it look Lego built? Not exactly. It looks like that's what it could come out to be because the fingers don't look like they're Lego built altogether, but they might be able to flex. Now, the Lego Ideas submission of Godzilla is incredible. It will not be like that because that is not like a fan or they have to design it for the massive amount of people that will build it, not just the 18+, but a younger community. So it has to be sturdy, and that one's not as sturdy, I don't think. But this one is an interesting leak. I do love Godzilla. Maybe we'll see something like this or something a little bit different. This was just kind of their wink tease that it's coming. Barnes & Noble from time to time has a build and take event, and this time for spring they're doing one on March 27th through the 29th. You can go to your local Barnes & Noble and get this beautiful little flower that has a small hummingbird flying next to it going in for the nectar. It's a pink flower that has kind of slope pieces to have the petals open, and in the middle it's got the stamen and where the hummingbird's going to go get the nectar. It's a little green and blue hummingbird, and it's very cute, especially for something free. You do have to go to your local store or go online and see if your local store is accepting reservations, or sometimes they do reservations. Other times it's not every Barnes & Noble that has it, so you have to call them to make sure. So you can take your kids or your family out to Barnes & Noble, buy some books, and build a little Lego. One of my favorite reveals of the year so far, The iconic Douglas DC-3 Pan Am airline. This is set 11378. It's 1,903 pieces and an 18 plus rating, and it'll cost you $220. It'll be available on April 1st. And it does come with 4 minifigures, which is new because if you're considering this based on the Concorde, it didn't come with minifigures, and this one does. It has this lovely little stand that has a pilot and 3 stewardesses and or like a reception. The stewardesses have the old school little hats, and they're wearing their skirts because, well, back in the day you had to wear a uniform. Well, you still do now, but it was a little different, a little more, I guess, not risque, but as not as professional as they are now. Now, the Douglas is an iconic aircraft, not only used for commercial airlines, it was used in World War II, and that's how it came to be for this, as the commercial airline industry took over. The Pan Am logo is printed on a 6x6 round tile, which is pretty great, and the aircraft has a really detailed cockpit section, and then you can reveal the seating in the inside, similar to the Concorde itself. Now, it's primarily made, after looking at some reviews, out of regular Lego. There's very minimal technique. The only technique there is to have the wheels go up and down. And personally, I love that technique. It's great for sustainability or structure, but it's also a pain in the ass sometimes. And this looks fantastic. It's rather large. It's not as long as the Concorde, but it still has a great wingspan to it. And as a aviation enthusiast, I think this is a great model, and it looks just so well built. I can't wait to see it in the store. A little disappointed that it's $20 over the Concorde, but I think that takes into account the 4 minifigures that maybe we didn't need. I'd like them. They're pretty cool, but the aircraft itself speaks for itself. And being Pan Am, that's just history right there. There's been some botanical builds around the world, and this one's a little different though. You can go on the London Eye, which is, I don't know if it's the largest anymore, but it was the largest Ferris wheel for quite some time. But you can go up and have a little building event of a botanical daisies. It's $60 or 60 pounds per person, so it's like $80, but then you get to go do this building experience. So you do priority boarding, the fast track entrance, 2 rotations on the London Eye, and a copy of the Daisy build. And you get a host on board to point out the different sites. It even has like flowers and everything around because they're pretty big cockpits. And wow, that's pretty cool. It is expensive, but it's 30 minutes a ride, so that's like $33 total per ride around. Oh, I wish I would lived in London sometimes. They always have cool things. They always have events where you can meet the designers, do signatures, all this stuff. So if you do live in the UK, this is a fun little date activity to do. Lego has activated a 2x insiders points right now, and a lot of them are for retired sets. So if you go and check over on the Lego page, you're going to see some of the sets such as like the race car, large scale minifigure, the Horizon figure build with the creatures. I always forget the name of the crab, and it looks like the wolf. And you can go get this before they retire because they'll be retiring this year. The new Lego Batman game, Legacy of the Dark Knight, is actually launching early. Instead of the original release date of May 29th, they're releasing it on May 22nd. So pre-orders page has already been updated, so you can go and get those pre-orders still. But I think we're just ready. I mean, a lot of us are ready. So that's a whole week ahead of schedule. If you want to get the game and play it a week early, now you have the chance. I wonder if there was beta testers for this. There probably was, but a lot of people are definitely going to enjoy this game. If they're Batman fans, I think it's the open world concept too. Then it's the largest Lego game that they've released in a bit because they've done some other smaller ones, but this one I think will definitely catch the eye of a lot of people. The Lego Pokemon theme already had some ups and downs, and it's only released 3 sets. And the largest one, the Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise set, had even a bigger controversy because of its gift with purchase. Now, the gift with purchase is that the medals from Kanto, and a lot of people were very interested in getting them. But you could only get them if you bought the set. And they even opened it up for pre-orders. So people bought it, and then people were upset that, oh, now I have to pre-order it. And you already said it's sold out because it's going to be available in stores to get when we buy them in store. And Lego confirmed that, yes, you will still be able to get them in store. And after you've pre-ordered them, you'll get them too. And guess what? there's been reviews coming in saying that, yeah, they didn't get any of it. Lego did not send them the gifts of purchase for this. So here's an excerpt. An already expensive set with no minifigures didn't even receive the gift of purchase when bought, even though it was in my cart. A terrible customer service from the company. As someone who had spent the last decade in retail, I would never charge this price for the product and then give such a low level of service in return. Now, I will say Lego customer service is excellent, but they definitely should have paid attention and made sure all of this was done, because a lot of people just spent $650 to get this and they didn't get the gift of purchase that they were promised. Lego might need to correct this, and they're probably going to reach out. Well, people who reach out, maybe they'll fix it for them. And if not, well, that's pretty bad. I can't believe it, but we're already on to the Bricklink Designer Program Series 11, and that means that it's time to start building. The palette is actually out over at the studio if you want to build the Bricklink Studio digital program, and you can now submit between a specific window, March 20th through May 4th. And that means that, well, you've got a little bit more time, just about a month before you submit your stuff, but get on it, because it's going to take time to get something done that's creative enough to win, because there's over 500 this last time, so you've got to make it really count. With Lego's continued expansion at their Virginia plant, they're going to be installing a lot of solar panels. And to put it in perspective, a lot is 40,000 solar panels. This is going to cover over 80 acres, and 10,000 rooftop panels are going to be put on all of the buildings, which is an impressive amount of solar. I wonder how much it'll actually cover of the building. Maybe it'll cover the whole thing. I actually don't know the, sun coverage in Virginia. It is pretty cloudy in Maryland a lot of the time, but you never know. Solar panels have come a long way for things, but that's quite a few, and that's in their continued engagement to reduce their carbon footprint across the world. So good on them. As we've been getting more and more large-scale architecture sets like Notre Dame and the castle I can never pronounce, this one is going to be a little bit more impressive, because it's going to be the most Lego pieces ever for a Lego set, at over 12,000 pieces. Now, there's not an actual set just yet, but it looks like we're getting the Sagrada Familia, which is a cathedral that's been taking, I don't remember how many hundreds of years to build at this point. And it's going to cost about $600, which is pretty expensive, but that's what, 5 cents a piece for something like that, which is crazy. And it'll come out on July 1st. It's going to have an impressive amount of detail. If you look at the building itself, there's quite a bit of detail, as well as the different spires and different architecture. It's very interesting design build to it. If you go to the Lego store there, you can actually see it being built as a larger scale build. I doubt that that's where we're going to get, because I think it's like 4 or 5 feet tall, but it will probably still be really impressive and very, very detailed. Now, we already talked about the Kanto Pokemon badges, and now you can actually go and build it yourself with the official instructions. They are over at the lego.com/building instructions, and you just can't get the stickers from this, but somebody will create a sticker sheet. I bet it's already out there if you want to really get them. I know a lot of people have built this without having the stickers, and they look really well too, and even some like tiny scale, which is pretty fun. I will probably get the sticker set and get this, because as a Pokemon fan, it's really cool. And I'm not going to spend, however, $200 just to get the box with it in it. This is a easy piece count out. I don't think there's anything major or new in there that would really drive me to need to buy that set. With the approaching Toy Story 5, it looks like we're getting some Toy Story sets again. They did this a couple years back. I think it was Toy Story 3. I don't know if they came out with anything. No, I think they did come out with some Toy Story 4 things, but also a lot of integration with just the Pixar team and integrating them with other Disney franchise sections. But it looks like we're going to get some more, specifically some Brickheads. There's already going to be, the classics, which they've already done before. They did Woody and Bo Peep and Buzz Lightyear. Now it looks like we might get some new additions, like 2 aliens, Woody the cowboy, Buzz Lightyear, and Jessie as Brickheads, which I think is great to have Jessie this time instead of Bo Peep, because, well, we don't really see Bo Peep as much anymore. Jessie is the main character, so that's a good thing that they're adding that. Love a good Brickheads, although the price has gone up, which is terrible. Lego is doing a direct-to-consumer set this summer, likely to come out on June 1st, and we've already had a few. We've had the castle, we've had their train station, And well, I'm holding out for a monorail because, well, they just decided that they're just not going to do it. Maybe they'll do it eventually, and it should be now, but they're not going to. The next one we're going to get is Main Street USA. It's going to have kind of the train tracks, though, might have the little trolley that goes down it, but of course, all the stands with the different lights. And it looks like we're going to get, of course, some tourists with some cameras. And they even say that they have shirts that are like Mickey and Star Wars and Marvel, probably. But maybe it'll integrate with the Disney Castle itself. It'll probably be a modular style similar to what we saw with Diagon Alley. And the price hasn't officially come out yet, but it's likely going to be probably $300 if I'm going to guess. The Lego Group is going to come out with a few more gifts with purchase. They've done these a lot on the Lego Ideas page, and we're getting an additional one. This one is the Rebuilding the Outdoor Adventures Challenge. They've already had a few before, and this one is just going to be the same thing. What's your favorite thing on the outdoors? And then you get some fun gifts for grand prize, and of course, it's going to be made into a set, which is the best part, of course. And the competition is stiff, and you've got to really knock it out of the park, but no pressure. Just go and have fun, build something if you want. And if not, then you get to enjoy whoever's gift with purchase will come out if you want to buy that when it comes to the stores. The Lego Group has released a teaser for a one-piece set. They had a small video with some, snowfields, and a little character pops out. It's the Tony Chopper minifigure, and it's kind of a small character with a hat that has antlers on it, and I expect we're going to get these pretty soon. Season 2 has been out for a little bit. I don't know exactly what we'll get from it, but there's quite a few sets that they could play off of just based on what exactly is going on this season. The LEGO Ideas Microspace competition has revealed its winners. For the grand prize, we have this really cool Exploring the Star's Surface and Subterranean by L.A. Bricklink, and it has a really cool kind of engagement of a satellite in space, the structure with neon lights and a rocket taking off, and then the subterranean has like cave systems to it, and it's all the neon glow, which is very retro-y style to it. And then of course some other ones where there's a telescope that you can move and see inside, all the things that you could see through a telescope, and enjoying some other large planet style scales and space missions and a teleportation device, all very scientific or not sci-fi-esque, and enjoying space theme. So congratulations to all the winners. The LEGO Party has a new update. They're adding some bonus bricks as well as the classic space minifigures. The party launched last September, and it's a multiplayer game, if you don't know, where you can, a lot of mini games, very much like Mario Party, but I've heard it's even better than that. And they have some things called like the challenge zones, where there's like 2 versus 2, and this gives you some bonus bricks where you can use them and exchange them for different things. And adding the classic space minifigure, I'm surprised it wasn't even in there to begin with, because it's a big draw for a lot of people to love the classic space minifigure, and I think it's a welcomed addition, and the game seems to still be pretty successful, so you can go and enjoy that with family and friends. The LEGO Group has been doing a lot of partnerships recently, but they're getting rid of a partnership. It's the LEGO Education is now entering their partnership with FIRST, which stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology, which is a brand that it's been going strong for 28 years, and they just decided that wasn't what they were going to do anymore. Since 1998, we have partnered with FIRST to inspire kids through STEM learning from LEGO Education. As we look to the future, we've decided not to renew our partnership with FIRST. The 2026-2027 FIRST LEGO League sessions will be our last together. I wonder why they're doing that. It's very strange to see a partnership, especially in the education front, to end. Now, does it mean that LEGO's going to stop doing things like this? No, that's probably why they're separating. They're going to do their exact same thing, just under their own roof, instead of having a partnership where they have to do, similar rules and things. And it's unfortunate, more so for kids that enjoy this, because that's been around for so long that they know that the LEGO League, we're going to go with FIRST. So having this end will definitely change some things for people, and it's kind of sad. I hope that LEGO does do something and that the FIRST League continues on its own. And that's all the breaking news we have this week, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's podcast. I hope you learned a lot. I know that there was a lot of releases this past week, this week, and it'll continue to be that way because Lego continues to make us spend more and more money because, well, record profits mean that they've got to keep putting things out and they've got to make it as expensive as they possibly can. But make sure to subscribe and tell your friends about it, and then you can listen to this podcast more and more and talk with them about it. And with the end of the news, we're going to move into our set review. Our first one is a Batman and Robin Batmobile. It's a 9+ set at 272 pieces, and it'll cost you $30. And it has, 9 reviews at 4.5 stars. By the way, it's set 76333. The Batmobile is from the Batman and Robin movie, which, if you've ever watched it, is it's not good. It's George Clooney, but it's just not good. And that's happened sometimes with movies. It's unfortunate for Batman because it kind of ended its reign of since the 1980s, late 1980s to this now. The Batmobile is actually the first one that's only a single seater. It actually was something I talked about when I did my massive build where I spent 366 days building one Lego set, which was a Batmobile. It has a lot of stickers. You've got one with the a crest on the back of the headrest. You've got some of the gills on either side of it, which are in red, and then the Batman logo on the front. It's an interesting sloping technique where it goes from pretty large all the way sloped backwards. And it's got the 2 rear fins. The round plates on either wheel have the Batman logo, and the Batmobile or Batman minifigure has the silver Batman. The suit was very interesting when it first came out. It definitely was not of the standard form where it's very dark. This one was a lot of shiny stuff, a lot of shiny silver on it to call out that, well, we were in the 90s, and that's exactly what we were going to do. At $30, it's nice to have another style of Batmobile because we've had so many of the other ones just repetitive over and over and over again. So this one adds a little more diversity to all those who love Batmobiles. And our set review today is Peach's Castle Architecture Mock. It's by MB Mox. It's 1,006 pieces, and the cost for instructions are free, which is awesome because this set is such a cool build that I'm so glad that a lot of people will be able to do it as long as, you get the pieces. But what it is it's very much like an architecture style set. It's in a black rectangular base, but then it even has some overflowing of the grass section. And if you know Peach's Castle from any of the games, there's the whole trail section that goes all the way from the lower area up into the bridge into the castle. The castle itself it looks just like the one that we all know and love from the Nintendo games. It even has a little 1x1 rounded tile with Peach's face on it, and it's likely that that's probably a sticker that you can get with it. There's a waterfall and the water going around it, and when you open up the inside, it looks just like what you'd see from the Super Mario and the Nintendo 64, and it even has a couple more 1x1 tiles that have photos on them. Really impressive build. I tried to reverse engineer it at one point, now that I don't have to because I can just get all these parts and build it myself. It'll be great to put on my shelf as I don't have anything, I think, Mario at work. So this one will correct that. And the piece count being about 1,000 pieces is not too bad. And even with the evaluated parts that you're going to buy from Bricklink and Brickowl, it looks to be about $130, which plus shipping, of course, and taxes. So not terrible, but still a little bit expensive, but very cool. And I hope that you go and check it out. All right, everyone, that's all I have. Thank you again. Make sure to follow and subscribe to the podcast. Go check out the YouTube channel and enjoy building Lego. And I'll leave you, as I always do, get creative, get out there, and go build something.